Hello ladies! So, you might see that there is a little assistant with me today. I have been wanting to create this video now for the past few days and just haven't been able to get a minute. But I've had lots of people requesting this video and I've been really excited to create it. So I just thought, you know what, you just gotta do what you can. So this is me doing my juggling act. This is little Atticus, who hopefully will drift off to sleep whilst I'm doing this video. But anyway, I want to share with you how I use journaling and the different ways I use writing as a way to help me manifest my goals, as a way to help keep myself organized, as a way to really help me to raise my vibration. So I'm going to talk you through the different ways then I use the written word on a daily basis. I will religiously, every single day, I will write, whether that is doing all three of these, it may be not. There's three different ways three different journals rather that I use. If I can just show you these, which I'm going to walk you through. Pretty much it will happen, most days it will happen first thing. Obviously these days with a newborn and a 2-year-old as well, that doesn't always go to plan, but on the whole I try to use journaling as part of my daily morning routine, and I will walk you through exactly what I journal on in a second. I'm first going to talk about though this, not strictly a journal, it's obviously more of a planner. If you can see that one there, it's got my name on it. It's from a brand called Papier. It's basically just a planner. Not very exciting, just like a normal standard planner. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because when I first started my business, I thought that I just wanted to throw away any sort of plan and routine, and I really just wanted to go with the flow. And I hated this idea of living this really rigid life where Monday to Friday I'd work between set hours, and I just wanted this kind of more relaxed, freedom-based lifestyle. And for the first couple of years after I quit my job, that was very much what my business looked like, and it definitely worked for me to a certain extent. However, what I found was that I was getting quite bad sort of anxiety around the thought of taking time out. And whenever I would pause or, you know, take a holiday or just have a few days off or whatever, or if I was just doing something that wasn't work, I would get myself quite stressed in that I would always be thinking about, oh, I could be doing this or I should be doing that. And this is the thing as a business owner. There's always more that you can do. There's always more you can be working on. There's always, you know, there's this never ending to-do list. And so what I found, I was in this sort of cycle where I would have the time out, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to fully enjoy it. And I found that actually creating more structure and routine in my life and using a planner and getting a little bit more strict with my time, it meant that I could actually pencil in my time out. I could actually schedule in my downtime so that it didn't feel like I was kind of stealing time away from my working day. It meant that I could just really just enjoy that time. I could relax into it because it was intentional, because it was something that I'd planned for. And so that's one of the reasons I really kind of started to plan more. And now, obviously having a newborn and a toddler, I need to have routine in my life. I need to kind of have schedule. So I will typically, I love just traditional pen to paper, old school planning. I will also use Trello as well, which is basically like a to-do list sort of board, which is online. And then I also use my Gmail calendar, which will be more for, I guess for like meetings, like client sessions or calls that I'm doing, or if I'm being interviewed on a podcast, something like that. But I will plan out my day, my week in my paper journal. And I just think, yeah, doing that for me, it's a way to help me raise my vibration, because if you've got everything that you need to do in your head, that's clutter, okay? And it creates mental clutter, it can create overwhelm, and obviously in that place, you are not necessarily vibrating at your highest frequency. When you can get rid of all that clutter from your brain and all of your to-do list and put it into a planner, however you choose to plan, you know, your day or your week, what you are doing is you are energetically creating space for more of the good stuff to come in, right? You know, you're freeing up that mental clutter to allow more room for the positive thoughts, the positive frequencies. So yeah, that is my planner. Moving on then, I've got 2 journals, which are basically just sort of your basic lined journal. I know that there's lots of really kind of cool journals you can get nowadays, ones that allow you to, you know, that will have affirmations in and will help you maybe plan your cycles, or it might be a moon journal. There's loads of amazing journals out there. I just really like a simple notepad, and it just gives me more flexibility in terms of what I'm gonna write. So let's just talk about what I do write in. So I've got this one and I've got this one as well. So I don't know if you can see. So this one says master plan on the front, and this one again is just says my name and it says life notes. And this is also from Papia as well. And this one was from, I think this was from Anthropology. Anyway, life notes. This is basically my journal, as in I will kind of use this as an actual journal. Oh, hello little man. Are you not enjoying this video? Are you not enjoying this video? Okay. So I will use that one then, lost my train of thought, as a proper journal, in that I tend to use it as a goals journal. So I call it sort of my manifesting journal, because I will use it to write out detailed descriptions of the things that I want, so the things that I'm in the process of manifesting, and I will typically write them out as if they have already come into reality. Okay, so this can take place, oh, what am I looking to say here? This can basically be done in a number of different ways. So I might, for example, write out, almost like I'm writing out a diary entry, but writing it from the place of I've already got all of my desires. So it might be, you know, today I woke up today and I woke up in my beautiful hilltop finca in Mallorca. That being something that at this present moment is something that I'm looking to manifest into my life. We're looking to hopefully buy a place overseas, that place potentially being Mallorca. So I will write out this kind of detailed description of my day from start to finish, as if I was writing a journal entry, a diary entry, and writing it from that place of this is already my life. This is all of the things that I already have in my existence. So this is something that I did actually just this morning. I wrote about waking up and, you know, looking out and the sun was shining, and, you know, looking out and I could see the sea, and, you know, I walked out to my outdoor yoga studio and did a yoga session there, and that was followed by, you know, a breathwork session. So I was basically writing out, you know, if I was to live out my ideal perfect day from start to finish, describing exactly where I am, who I'm with, what I'm wearing, even, you know, what I ate, all of that will go in there. And as I write, I really connect to the feeling of this is already present for me. And that's really, really important when you're doing your journaling. It's not enough to just go through the motions and write. You have to also get emotionally connected to what you're writing about. And the thing is, it's because, well, law of attraction is, it works based upon your energy, right? It works on you showing up already as that higher version of you who already has her desires, energetically aligning yourself with that version of you. And so the way in which I do this is through writing, because when I'm writing out that ideal day, I'm imagining myself actually living it. I'm aligning my energy with the version of me who already has that life. Now, in terms of this type of journaling then, writing out your perfect day and, you know, feeling as if it's already happening to you and coming from that place of, you know, I've just experienced this day, that's something that I've done right since, you know, very early on in my entrepreneurial journey. And it's amazing to witness the things that I once wrote about, to see those things now in my reality. Like my home that I'm currently living in now is an example of that. I wrote about this home, about me waking up in this home, about me, you know, buying this home, building this home, renovating it. I wrote about all of those things and got really connected with that vision as if it had already played out, even before it actually happened. And I fully believe that's one of the reasons why things have worked out for me in the way that they have. The other way that I will use this type of journal is also to write out statements of gratitude. I love to obviously be thankful for the things in my life that I've already got, but I will also be thankful for the things that I've yet to manifest, being thankful for them as if they've already showed up. So it's kind of like a shorter, more concise way of doing sort of the writing out your sort of dream day. I will, you know, especially if I'm a bit more pressed for time, it might just be a quick sort of minute or so just to write out those gratitude statements. So again, the things that I'm already grateful for that are already in my life, but the things that I'm looking to manifest. So it might be, I am so grateful for my beautiful finca, you know, in Mallorca, or whatever it is that I'm looking to manifest. I'm so grateful for, you know, publishing my second book. So yeah, so I'll write out those gratitude statements. The same kind of principle applies. I'll make sure that as I'm writing them, I'm really embodying, you know, the version of me who's already has those things in her life, you know, has that ability to be grateful for those things. And then my other journal, and this is something that again I will pretty much write in daily. So all of these, most days I will actually, if all goes to plan, I will write in all of these things, all of these 3 journals and planners daily. This one though is more for creative ideas. So just sparks of inspiration that I might get, or things that I'm planning, I will put them in here. I just believe that when you put something down, if you have an idea, just cementing it in the written word, even if it's not something that's on your priority list right now, for me, it's a way to make sure that it happens. It's almost like your commitment to the universe. I've got this spark of inspiration, I'm writing it down, and that's signaling that this is something that I'm gonna move forward with. So having said that, not all of my creative ideas do actually, or have actually come into manifestation, but the majority of them do. And so again, it's just for me, it's a way to kind of get my creative juices going. It might just start with a really simple idea, and then I will kind of just brain dump, and I will just kind of free flow write and just kind of see what else comes up. And I don't really put a time aside to do this. I will just do it as and when. And this is the thing about inspiration. Often when we set space within our day to kind of get inspired, maybe it's creating content, or maybe you're writing a book and you want to put some ideas down. I find, and maybe you're the same, if I set aside time for that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create content at this hour. It often feels like writer's block and I just can't create anything. And so I have to just strike while the iron's hot. And I think this is really about being in alignment and just going with the flow. And I think this is where I am able to create that balance between my quite sort of routine, sort of planned out schedule where I have my goals and I have my to-do lists, balancing that with being in alignment, going with the flow, taking inspired action. Because whenever I'm writing in this book, it's always just from that place of feeling inspired, okay? It's never, oh, I'm gonna force myself to create, I'm gonna force myself to write, I'm gonna force myself to come up with some big business idea or plan. It will always be, okay, I've got this spark of inspiration, let me jot it down, and then we'll see when we actually act upon it. So they were my 3 journals then that I use on a daily basis. I'd love to know though, let me know in the comments, how do you journal? Like, what do you journal on? I know there's lots of different ways that people like to journal. How do you plan? Do you use a normal planner? You know, what do you do for your creative ideas? Yeah, I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments below. And I hope that you found this useful. And I will speak with you again very soon. All right, lots of love, ladies. Bye.